The explosion that tore through the research station on Europa could be seen from 3 moons away. Dr. Sarah Chen pressed her face against the viewport of the rescue shuttle, watching the orange flames dance against the ice-white surface of Jupiter's moon. What had once been humanity's most advanced xenobiology facility was now a smoking crater. "How many survivors?" she asked the pilot, a grizzled man named Rodriguez, who'd seen too many disasters in the outer colonies. 12 confirmed. Dead. 3 missing and 1. Rodriguez paused, checking his readings again. 1 that shouldn't be alive. Sarah frowned. "What do you mean?" "The life signs we're picking up from the wreckage. They're off the charts. Heart rate, brain activity, body temperature. Whatever happened down there, it changed someone." As their shuttle descended through Europa's thin atmosphere, Sarah caught sight of the survivor. A young maintenance engineer named Marcus Webb sat in the middle of the destruction, completely unharmed. His clothes were singed but intact. His skin glowed with an odd pulsing light that seemed to come from within. Marcus looked up as they landed. His eyes had changed from brown to brilliant gold. When he stood, the twisted metal around him bent, away like it was afraid. "Dr. Chen?" His voice carried a harmonic that made her bones vibrate. "I think I remember something. Something about who we really are." Sarah's tablet chimed with an incoming transmission from Earth. The message was marked, with the highest priority classification she'd ever seen: species critical. She opened it with shaking hands. The text made her stomach drop. "Alien contact confirmed. Multiple species. They're afraid of us. They remember what humans did before. Prepare for war. This is not a drill." Marcus tilted his head, as if listening to something only he could hear. "They're coming," he whispered, "and they're terrified." 3 days later, Sarah stood in the emergency command center on Luna Station, watching the impossible. Marcus Webb floated in the center of a containment field, his body radiating energy that their best scientists couldn't explain. Every monitor around the room showed the same readings. His DNA was rewriting itself in real time. "Tell me again what you remember," said Admiral Harrison, a stern woman who'd commanded the Solar Defense Fleet for 20 years. Her weathered face showed the strain of the past 72 hours. Marcus closed his glowing eyes. When he spoke, his voice carried echoes of something ancient and terrible. "We weren't always like this. Peaceful. Weak. There was a war. Across the galaxy. We were soldiers. Not just soldiers. We were weapons." Dr. Patel, the team's geneticist, looked up from his readings. "His cellular structure is changing. Bone density increasing by 400%. Neural pathways multiplying. It's like his body is remembering how to be something else." "Something else like what?" Admiral Harrison demanded. Marcus opened his eyes. The gold light in them pulsed brighter. Like gods of war, the main screen flickered to life, showing Admiral Chen Wei broadcasting from Earth's surface. His face was grim. "We've detected 17 alien fleets moving toward our solar system. They're not responding to communications, but we intercepted something else." The screen changed to show alien text, translated into English below. "The humans are awakening. All species must unite or face extinction. The Terran Warform protocols are activating. May the universe forgive us for what we're about to witness." Sarah felt her blood go cold. "How long until they reach us?" 6 hours until the first scouts arrive. Main fleets will be here in 4 days. Marcus suddenly convulsed in the containment field. The energy readings spiked so high that 3 monitoring stations overloaded and caught fire. When the smoke cleared, he was standing on solid ground. The containment field had simply stopped working. "The field generators are intact," Dr. Patel whispered in shock. "He didn't break them, he convinced them to stop." Marcus looked at his hands. His skin was harder now, with a metallic sheen. "I can feel others awakening, all across human space. The signal is spreading." He looked directly at Admiral Harrison. "We need to find the others before the aliens get here, because I think we're going to need an army." An alert klaxon screamed through the station. The tactical display showed dozens of red dots. appearing across the solar system. Not alien ships, human colonies. Each one showing the same impossible energy readings they were detecting from Marcus. My God, Admiral Harrison breathed. It's happening everywhere. The cargo bay of the battleship Defiant had been converted into a makeshift meeting room. 18 humans stood in a circle, each one glowing with the same golden energy that marked Marcus as changed. Sarah moved between them with her scanners, documenting what should have been impossible. Captain Lisa Rodriguez, no relation to the pilot from Europa, stood at attention despite the fact that her body temperature was now 47 degrees Celsius. Farmer Joe Mitchell from the Mars colonies had hands that could crush steel and eyes that saw in spectrums beyond human perception. Each awakened human was different, but all shared the same underlying transformation. The memories are getting stronger, said Dr. Amanda Foster, a xenoarchaeologist who'd awakened 3 hours ago on Titan. I keep seeing battles, entire star systems burning, and us. We weren't the good guys. Marcus nodded grimly. We were conquerors, the ultimate predator species. We swept across the galaxy like a plague. He paused, his enhanced senses picking up something the others couldn't detect yet. But something happened. Something made us forget. Made us become peaceful. A suppression field, Admiral Harrison said, reading from a classified report. We found evidence of it buried in our archaeological records. Ancient alien technology designed to keep us dormant, to make us think we were just another species struggling to reach the stars. Sarah looked up from her readings. But why would they do that instead of just destroying us? Because, said a new voice from the doorway, even suppressed, we were useful. Everyone turned to see a tall, elegant figure enter the bay. It looked vaguely humanoid, but wrong somehow. Its skin was too pale, its limbs too long, and its eyes held an intelligence that seemed ancient beyond measure. When it spoke, its voice carried harmonics that hurt to hear. I am Ambassador Catherine of the Vorthak Confederation. I come under a flag of truce. The alien's gaze swept over the awakened humans with something that looked like fear. We need to talk. Marcus stepped forward, his body language shifting into something predatory. You're one of them, one of the species that put us to sleep. Yes, Catherine admitted. And if you remember who you truly are, you'll understand why we had no choice. The main screen activated, showing a holographic star map. Thousands of red dots indicated alien fleets converging on the solar system. But there were also green dots, human colonies, and each one was pulsing with energy signatures that matched the awakened. Your species once controlled half the galaxy, Catherine continued. You turned entire worlds into weapons. You bred warrior castes that could fight in the vacuum of space. You created technologies that could crack planets like eggs. The aliens' composure cracked slightly. In our darkest hour, we managed to activate an ancient device, something that could suppress your warform genetics, make you forget, make you peaceful. And now, Admiral Harrison demanded, now the device is failing. Your people are remembering, and every species in the galaxy is terrified that you'll become what you once were. Catherine paused. The fleet's coming here. They're not here to conquer. They're here to destroy you before you can destroy us all. Marcus felt something click in his mind. A cascade of memories flooded back, commanding fleets of bioships, reshaping worlds with his bare hands, leading armies of humans who could tear through alien defenses like paper. He remembered the fear in his enemy's eyes, the way entire species would surrender at the mere mention of humanity's approach. He also remembered something else, the loneliness, the endless hunger for conquest that could never be satisfied. The way humanity had lost itself in the pursuit of power. There's something you don't know, Marcus said quietly. Something even we forgot. What? Catherine asked. Marcus looked around at his fellow awakened, seeing understanding dawn in their glowing eyes. We chose to be suppressed, the last of the old humans. We activated your device ourselves. The silence in the cargo bay was deafening. We had become monsters, Marcus continued. We could conquer anything, but we couldn't stop, couldn't find peace. So we chose to forget, to become something better. He straightened, and for a moment Sarah could see the shadow of the cosmic predator he'd once been. But now you're forcing us to remember, to become weapons again. Because the alternative is extinction, Catherine said desperately. Your awakening is spreading faster than we anticipated. Soon every human will remember. And when that happens, Marcus finished, we'll have to choose again. Between being monsters and being dead. Alarms began blaring throughout the ship. On the tactical display, the first alien scout ships had entered weapons range. Choose quickly, Admiral Harrison said grimly. Because ready or not, the war is about to begin. The first alien attack came at dawn, Earth Standard Time. Sarah watched from the bridge of the Defiant as beams of pure energy lanced down from orbit, targeting population centers across 3 continents. The aliens weren't taking chances. They meant to wipe humanity out completely. Defensive batteries are responding, reported the tactical officer. But their weapons are unlike anything we've seen. They're targeting our neural networks directly. Admiral Harrison gripped her command chair as the ship shuddered under the assault. Marcus, we need those abilities of yours online now. Marcus stood in the center of the bridge, his eyes closed in concentration. Around him, the other awakened humans were linking their minds, sharing memories and power in ways that human brains shouldn't have been capable of. The air itself seemed to thicken with potential energy. I can feel them all, Marcus whispered. Every human on Earth, every colonist in the outer system. The awakening is accelerating. They're all starting to remember. On Mars, construction worker Elena Vasquez looked down at her hands as they began to glow. She remembered commanding living starships that could repair themselves and grow stronger with each battle. In the asteroid belt, Miner Chen Lu felt his body adapting to vacuum as he recalled the days when humans could survive in the void of space without protection. The aliens are right to be afraid, said Dr. Foster, her enhanced senses tracking the enemy fleet movements. I can remember the hegemony wars. We didn't just defeat our enemies. We absorbed their technology, their genetics, their entire civilizations. We became stronger with every conquest. But we also remember why we stopped, Marcus replied. He opened his eyes, and the golden light in them had deepened to something that resembled burning suns. The question is, can we be what they fear us to be without becoming what we hate? Ambassador Catherine, who had remained silent during the attack, finally spoke. There is another option, one that our history spoke of but we never believed. What option? Admiral Harrison demanded. The synthesis protocol, the last thing your species created before the suppression, a way to combine the power of your war forms with the wisdom you gained through peace. The alien's voice carried a note of desperate hope, but it was theoretical, untested. Marcus felt the memory surface. A project started in humanity's final years of expansion, a way to evolve beyond the need for conquest, while retaining the strength to protect what mattered. They had never had the chance to complete it before choosing suppression instead. It would require every awakened human to link their consciousness, he said slowly, to become something new. Not just individual warriors, but a collective intelligence that could think on a galactic scale. The risks? Admiral Harrison asked. We might lose our individuality entirely, become something inhuman in a different way. Marcus paused as another wave of alien fire struck their shields. Or it might be the evolution our species was always meant to achieve. Sarah looked at the tactical display. More than 200 alien ships now surrounded the solar system. But green dots were appearing faster than ever, as humans across known space underwent their awakening. The choice they made in the next few minutes would determine the fate of not just humanity, but potentially every sentient species in the galaxy. There's something else, Dr. Patel said, looking up from his genetic scanners. The awakening isn't random. It's following patterns in our DNA, patterns that suggest this was always meant to happen. The suppression was temporary. A cocoon, not a prison. Marcus nodded. We were never supposed to stay suppressed forever. This was part of the evolution. Sleep, dream of peace, then wake up as something better than we were before. If it works, Catherine said quietly. If it doesn't, Marcus replied. Then you get exactly what you feared. Humanity as the galaxy's ultimate predator, but now with 300 years of patience and planning behind us. Admiral Harrison looked around the bridge at her crew, at Sarah with her scientific curiosity, at the awakened humans who were becoming something beyond human, at the alien ambassador who had risked everything to offer them a choice. All stations prepare for consciousness linking procedures, she announced. We're about to find out what humanity is really capable of. Outside, the alien fleets tightened their formation, preparing for the final assault. They had no way of knowing that humanity was about to attempt something that would either save the galaxy or damn it forever. The golden light around the awakened humans began to pulse in synchronization, reaching out across space to touch every human consciousness. In the solar system, 300 years of enforced peace was about to meet 10,000 years of evolved warfare. Beginning synthesis in 3, 2, 1. The light exploded outward, racing toward Earth and beyond, carrying with it humanity's final gamble. Epilogue. The New Dawn 6. Months later, Sarah stood on the observation deck of New Geneva Station, watching the construction crews work. But these weren't ordinary human workers. They moved with perfect coordination, their bodies adapted for work in vacuum, their minds linked in a network that spanned the entire solar system. The synthesis had worked, but not in the way anyone expected. Humanity hadn't become a hive mind. Instead, they had become something like a vast family, each individual retaining their personality while sharing knowledge and purpose with all others. They could choose to link their consciousness for specific tasks, then return to their individual selves when finished. The war had ended within hours of the synthesis, not through conquest, but through understanding. The linked human minds had reached out to the alien fleets and shown them exactly what they were, not the monsters of old, but something new, something that had learned to balance power with wisdom. Any regrets? Marcus asked, joining her at the viewport. His physical transformation had stabilized into something that looked human but clearly wasn't. He was taller now, stronger, with senses that could perceive across multiple dimensions. But his eyes still held the kindness that had made him a good maintenance engineer. About the awakening? No. Sarah smiled. About losing the old humanity? Sometimes. Below them, a group of human children played with young aliens from a dozen different species. The kids moved through games that would have been impossible before. The synthesis, their enhanced abilities letting them share thoughts and experiences directly. To them, this was normal. This was what humanity had always been meant to become. Ambassador Catherine was right about one thing, Sarah continued. We are weapons, but we're also teachers, builders, protectors. The question was never whether we would be powerful. It was what we would do with that power. Marcus nodded, watching a human engineer work alongside a Vorthax scientist to design new starships. Ships that could travel faster than light without the need for fuel, powered by the same consciousness fields that connected human minds across space. The old humans conquered the galaxy and found it empty, he said. Now we're filling it with something worth conquering for. A chime sounded from Sarah's communicator. She checked the message and smiled. Long-range sensors have detected 17 new intelligent species beyond the galactic rim. They're requesting contact. Afraid of us too? Curious about us. Apparently, word is spreading that humanity might be something other than a threat. Sarah paused, considering. They want to meet the species that chose wisdom over power. Marcus laughed, a sound that harmonized with frequencies only other enhanced humans could hear. Little do they know we chose both. In the distance, Earth hung like a blue-white jewel against the star field. On its surface, 10 billion humans lived and worked and dreamed, each one connected to the vast network of human consciousness that now spanned the galaxy. They were still human in all the ways that mattered, but they were also something more. They were what gods might become if gods could learn to be kind. And in the depths of space, ancient monitoring stations that had watched for humanity's reawakening for 3 centuries finally went dark. Their vigil was over. Humanity had made its choice. The universe would never be the same. The end